What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the tavern. I'm Spencer.
And I'm Eli, as always.
And this is Bardic Blunders. And I just have to take a little aside right here, right before the podcast started. We're just sitting here talking, and from Eli's mic, I hear, and then he goes, "Hold on a second, I have to go deal with a woodpecker." It was just the greatest environmental storytelling. I was like, what is that knocking? Very quickly had my question answered. Oh boy. But
Time to
anyways,
deal with a motherfucking woodpecker.
dude, it's the first minute. Come on, man.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. I don't make money off this anyways. Um so today we're talking about more terrible gaming companies. Uh Oh boy,
Yay.
it feels like every week at this point we're harping on a new horrible gaming company. But today we are putting our sights on Bungie for plagiarism. Now, Bungie is already locked in a lawsuit for plagiarism off of some of their vaulted content from Destiny 2. It's Mr. Matthew Kelsey Martineau previously alleged that Destiny 2's campaign storylines, The Red War and Curse of Osiris copied protected elements of his own published work, including faction and character details that were published on WordPress in 2013 and 2014. Destiny is currently struggling to fight that lawsuit because they vaulted all that content and it is no longer compatible with the current version of the game they run. So they've tried to point to YouTube and be like, hey, look, YouTube videos of those things. And isn't that enough? And the judge's like, nah, that's not enough. So while they're in the middle of that, something comes out that their Marathon, the new game Marathon that they have in development, they stole art from a Twitter user. Just straight up yanked art from this Twitter user. Good grief. Okay, cool. Anti-Real is the name of the artist, and there has been numerous like this. The other lawsuit. It's kind of or the lawsuit. This one's not a lawsuit yet, but the lawsuit. It's kind of loose whether they really stole from the guy or not, because there's a lot of this stuff that's very generic sci-fi that they're currently locked into trying to prove is just coincidental. Like, none of this is actually, there's no basis for any of this. This, however, they have boatloads of proof, and I will go ahead and pop this on screen right now so you can see right here on the right. This is the artist Anti-Real's artwork, and on the left is where it is being used in the Marathon beta. And this very obviously is an exact copy of what she published. This one I'm a little more like, okay, these are just arrows, but I get it. Right there, that's a sequence of symbols she designed. Yep. Like all over the place. Ridiculous. Where is it? There's one that somebody pointed out. Oh, they don't have it on here. She jokingly put loss, the old meme, into one of her pieces of artwork, and that made it into the beta. So Bungie is once again caught blatantly. Well, okay, the other one wasn't blatant, but yes, they're caught blatantly plagiarizing somebody. Like, it's insane. And the funniest part about it is, You want to know what their defense of it was? Oh, it was an old employee. It was this old guy who used to work for us. We promise. It wasn't anybody who works here now, even though half the Bungie art team is still following this artist on Twitter. Oh, we promise. It's not, they don't work for us anymore. It's some mysterious random goblin who snuck into our office and plagiarized all this work. It's just insane to me. And I think this...
yes, the plagiarism goblin.
The plagiarism goblin.
He runs rampant in schools, don't you know?
Oh yeah, it's all these college students who get removed for plagiarism. It's just the plagiarism goblin. He's a real sneaky fellow.
That son of a...
That little rat. He really got Bungie good this time. No, I think this proves, because there's a lot of people, I know this is, not in the popular zeitgeist right now, but there's a lot of people who are saying through all of 343's issues with Infinite that, oh man, what if Bungie still had the game? I think this proves that Bungie having the game would not have made it any better. Let's be real. A lot of these modern development companies are just not suited to make games.
Yeah.
You look at Obsidian, and Obsidian creates Fallout New Vegas, what is considered one of the best RPGs of all time. And then they release Avowed, and there are people who like it, but a lot of people are like, this is a steaming pile of crap. This isn't what we were promised. This is terrible. The people who made games great are no longer involved in these big development studios, and I think that's proven.
Yeah, they all retired.
Or they've all moved on to smaller projects. I don't remember who he was, but the project manager of Expedition 33 is a major... I typed project. I love dyslexia. The project manager of Expedition 33 used to be heavily involved in another video game series. And I don't remember what it was.
I believe Jack Patello's helping with Expedition 33 as well. From Achievement Hunter.
Really?
I don't know if it's that one, but he is working on a video game right now. With a smaller company.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. I have no idea how to say his name. I'm going to be 100% honest. Oh no, this is the only one it credits him for. Oh, no, okay, he is the one I'm thinking of then. So, it's Guillaume. I think it's Guillaume. Is that how you would say that?
Guillermo?
Is that Guillermo?
Spell it again.
Guillaume.
Yeah, Guillermo.
Guillermo?
Guillermo.
Guillermo? There's no R.
Hold on.
But anyways,
give me a second, because I worked with a Guillermo.
He said it would have taken 25 years to navigate all the bureaucracy in a AAA studio just to get started on the game.
Nope, you're right. It starts off the same, but it's another Italian name.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no R in that, so why that wouldn't even make sense. But he founded Sandfall Interactive, which is the one that made Expedition 33. But he was involved with Ubisoft, I guess, beforehand. So he's well aware of, yeah, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, The Division 2, heavily involved in a major AAA gaming company. And he straight up said, he was like, yeah, no, we're not going to make a game like this with a AAA gaming company because they're going to, the bureaucracy that we've mentioned before of the suits who have no idea what actually developing a video game is like, have to come in and give all their opinions on it. That it's the same issue. That's the kind of game that wouldn't have gotten made. And I think I have to question how many games were pitched to a AAA studio, didn't make it to development or barely made it to development and died out quickly, that we just have never gotten to see.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the kind of thing where I look at what Bungie is doing and what so many other modern AAA companies are doing. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty obvious. Bungie's stealing artwork. And while not every AAA game does that, there's a lot of them that like to cut corners in some way like that. Bungie just chose an illegal way of cutting corners. It's not just morally reprehensible in the fact that you're creating these lofty promises for people who are looking forward to your game and then completely failing to deliver on it. It's actually a legal issue for Bungie. But so many other companies do the same thing where they're like, hey, we need to cut a corner somewhere. Hey, let's cut the corner. Hey, that thing we promised players, let's just cut that out of the game. Let's just get rid of that.
Yeah.
We don't need that. Oh, but you promised players that. But it'll be too hard. It'll cost us more money. Let's just cut that. Let's just leave that out. And this is not in the sense, because, yeah, of course, older games have cut content as well. The amount of cut content, there's a dude on YouTube who literally, his whole channel for years has been going over cut content for Fallout New Vegas. That game was made in 16 months. Yeah. 16 months. And there has been over 2 years worth of videos of cut content from that game. You have other games that are cutting things that are integral to the way the game functions. You have Avowed saying, hey, instead of making this actual open world RPG, let's just cut it down into individual zones you have to travel in between. That can work. Borderlands does that. But
yeah,
Borderlands 1 and 2 and the pre-sequel all did that. But they didn't promise to be some big open world game. I just listened to a video of a guy talking about why everybody expected Avowed. Really, it wasn't just about Avowed. It was about Skyrim killers. Because, you know, when there's a big game, there's always a bunch of other games that come in. We're like, we're going to be the insert game here killer. We're going to be the Halo killer. We're going to be the COD killer. We're going to be, you know, there were...
And very few of them ever succeed.
None of them. I don't think there's been a single one that has ever succeeded. If it has, they've pivoted from, we're going to be this killer, to, we're going to make our own game. Because...
I mean, Halo did kind of put Mafia Murder Quake into the ground.
Oh, well, yeah. The way I look at that, though, is that's a progression into a new era of video games. That wasn't necessarily Halo killing Quake. It was Halo coming out when Quake was already kind of waning, And
Yeah.
the Halo being coming out, and it was like, oh well, yeah, that exploded. But when you have, I can't even remember the names of some of the games. I think Crysis started as a Halo killer and pivoted at some point in development when they were like, there's no way we're going to outdo Halo, so we just have to do our own thing. And Crysis became a successful series for a while. There's another one, I don't remember what it's called, that was actually codenamed Halo Killer in its development. It flopped. It sucked. It did not sell well. But so he was talking about Skyrim killers and why we haven't had a Skyrim killer. And part of the conclusion was nobody has the same attention to detail that Bethesda does when it comes to a lot of their open world games, which is fair. I have criticisms for Bethesda, but they do have a ridiculous level of detail with Fallout and
Yes, they do.
the Elder Scrolls specifically. Like,
And they like to put hundreds of little Easter eggs in there.
the little things, like walking into a room in Fallout and there's a dude, a corpse in a bathroom surrounded by mannequins. What the hell happened here? Like, what's going on? No idea,
Yeah.
but it's great little environmental storytelling. And Skyrim and Oblivion and all of their RPGs do that in such a good way. Other RPGs are not necessarily that. And that was one of the things Avowed was they had the idea to push it as the next Skyrim. But as development went on and they realized it's not going to be the next Skyrim, they pivoted it into its own game. But I think there's a lot of people who like it. There's a lot of people who don't. I don't like the sound of it. I've seen a lot of the storytelling things, and I don't like the storytelling that's in the game. It seems very, very shoehorned, and it does have a lot of that typical modern writing in it that is just lacks character. But regardless, that's kind of getting off on a tangent, like
Another one.
we always do. There's so many games that cut those corners, and it frankly doesn't surprise me that Bungie is choosing to cut the corner. I am kind of shocked they're cutting a corner in a way that is blatantly illegal. But
I mean,
yeah, it's turned into a whole disaster for them. They had a very awkward live stream. They were gonna show gameplay from Marathon, and then they decided not to because they were like, yeah, we don't know if there's any other copyrighted material in the gameplay we could showcase, so we're just not going to showcase anything. And it was just a stream with one of the lead developers and the lead art director who, by the way, looked petrified the entire stream. He looked so uncomfortable. It's funny seeing clips of him. He's got like 1,000-yard stare, like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here.
man, why am I here? I don't want to be here.
Why did they put me up here? Oh, gosh. But, yeah, Bungie's in a whole disaster. And, we mentioned Borderlands a minute ago. Take-Two's not in a much better point themselves, because they just released a new user license agreement, I think is what it was. Take-Two new user agreement. So, within this new user agreement, they... Let me see if I can find the exact virtual items, right to virtual items. No. I'm going to find an article that points out the exact Anyways, they have put a new thing in their user agreement. Why are all these so old? Hold on. Now, I know I just saw this, so... Yeah, okay, here it is. Games Radar has it. So, I don't know why it's Games Radar. I hate having to trust a gaming journalism site, but hey, if you do something right, I can give you credit for doing something right. If you go on the Steam pages of the Borderlands games right now, they are currently being review bombed into oblivion because their new user agreement states that they will be adding root level anti-cheat. For those who are uninformed, root level means the very bottom level of your system. They have access to literally everything on your computer. Every single thing. Kernel level anti-cheat is already bad. Root level anti-cheat means they gain access to everything your computer has, which means they can turn around and sell that information to companies who want to buy it. So do not accept the EULA for any reason on any Take-Two interactive game. But yeah, root level anti-cheat, your IP address, personal information, including your phone number, email, and addresses, are all accessible. Refusing the EULA breaks mods and cuts off net play in a near 20-year-old game, speaking on the original Borderlands. This same dangerous level of access has been added to the following games in this catalog: Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, the delisted one. Borderlands Game of the Year Enhanced Edition. Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This has effectively turned the game into spyware. All of these games are now just spyware. And yeah, that's terrible. So if you have any of the Borderlands games installed on your computer, uninstall them now. Like, literally. And do not, under any circumstance, accept their agreement. Because you will be providing them with all of your personal information. So I'm not going to participate in review bombing just because typically I don't agree with that regardless of what the reason is. But this one, I kind of support this one. I'm not going to put a review myself, but you can clearly open any of the Borderlands games and all the recent reviews are mostly negative. So I will be reporting it to Steam, though. And I think everyone should report it to Steam. But yeah, Take-Two, terrible. Terrible. I've complained about any game with anti-cheat. And, you know, like if you have de novo anti-cheat, that gets kernel level access to your system, which basically means it can see everything that you have running whenever you're playing the game. So whenever you open up, I don't know, Halo Infinite, I don't know if that's an example of one that has kernel level anti-cheat, but
it does.
Okay, then yeah, when you have Halo open, for example, if I had Halo open on my computer right now, it could see I have Steam open, I have OBS open, I have Discord open, I have my browser open, and I have my actual like file explorer open. It would be able to tell all of that because it has to read that to see, are you running any cheat programs? I disagree with this level of anti-cheat. I know a lot of people consider it necessary for multiplayer games, and I can see why you would consider it, but I think that's relenting too much sensitive information. The issue with all of the anti-cheat things is you essentially have to keep stepping it up further and further and further and further. So when the cheater has just applied cheats to the game, you have to be able to read through the game files to see if anything's cheated. When they go the step below that to kernel, you have to go to kernel to meet them. And everything until it's like, yeah, I have to go all the way to the root of your system, which means I have full access to everything your computer has on it. That's the only way for me to stop cheating. Which, you know what? It's not even effective because you can always just use a second machine and they have no way of tracing that. You can use a second machine to apply the cheats to your game on the other machine, and it is done quite often. So, root level anti-cheat does nothing in a multiplayer game. Borderlands is not a competitive multiplayer game, which is the thing that gets me the most about it. It's a single player or a co-op game. They are doing it specifically to steal your information or just to screw over mods because they're incredibly spiteful. Either way, Take Two. And they can shove these new changes so far up their ass. I'm like, this actually infuriates me. That a company could have the gall to do something like this on a near 20-year-old single-player game. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes. The Borderlands 2 is 13 years old. The pre-sequel is 11 years old. And Borderlands 3 came out in 2019, so it's 6 years old. I don't care.
That's painful.
Yeah, it yeah, I get it. Mm-hmm. I feel that. But and then obviously Tiny Tina's Wonderlands I think came out last year or 2023. I honestly don't remember. I did not touch that game. I don't care necessarily just that it's a 20-year-old game or that, you know, oh, what about the one that just came out recently? This is vile business practice.
Yeah.
This screams Take-Two is in incredible financial trouble, and their solution to that is going to be stealing people's information and selling it. I guarantee. So, yeah, they super suck. And that's not even mentioning... we talked about this a little bit before stream, but Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford, well-known guy. He was questioned about people not purchasing Borderlands 4 at the $80 price point. I know we've beaten this $80 games topic to death over the last few weeks. But he when he was asked about that, he goes, real fans will find $80 to spend on the game. Randy, I'm a real fan, or at least I was a real fan of Borderlands. I have a Borderlands mouse pad right now. I'll post it on the Discord just to show evidence. I have a golden chest collectible from Borderlands that I store a lot of my spare wires in for my different devices. I'm a fairly big fan of Borderlands. If you look at my Steam, I have 679 hours in Borderlands 2. Wow, get a life. I'm a real fan.
That's supposed to be my line.
I'm a I just figured I'd get it out of the way, you know. I'm a real fan. I ain't spending $80 on Borderlands 4. I'll be honest with you. I'm not doing that. Because the last Borderlands game that I bought at full price, Borderlands 3, I paid $60 for it. I bought it the day it released. Downloaded it, immediately booted that thing up and started playing it. Wow, I was incredibly disappointed with that game. The gameplay was fine. The story sucked horrid ass. And overall, I came out dissatisfied. So explain to me why, when that game was not up to par, and I did say I have not played Wonderlands, but I have seen less than glowing reviews about that game. Why, pray tell, would I spend more money when you have not proven to me that you can release a quality product recently? There's a phrase that gets tossed around in sports, and I think it should start being tossed around in the video game industry. What have you done for me lately? It gets tossed around in sports because you have a player who used to be great. You know, oh, well, we have this quarterback. He used to throw 4,000, 5,000 yards a season 8 years ago. Last couple years, he's thrown, 3,000 yards. He's thrown about 10 less touchdowns average than he used to. And his interceptions have gone up. So you're like, what have you done for me lately? Why am I going to keep you around when I can see you declining in quality?
Yeah.
Let's start tagging that onto the video game industry. Hey, Gearbox, what have you done for me lately? Not much. Not much at all.
Nothing. You ain't done.
You ain't nothing. So, why should I be expected to pay $80 for your new game when you have not instilled any sort of confidence in me that you can release a quality product? You know what? If I see the game come out and a bunch of people are giving it glowing praise, okay, sure. I'm still not paying $80 for it. Because $80 is too expensive for modern video games. And I can pretty well guarantee I am not going to get the same value out of Borderlands 4 as I will out of the old ones. Of course, all of them are worthless as of right now. But one can hope that EULA gets changed. So, you want to have the gall to be like, oh, real fans. I was a real fan. And a lot of other people were real fans. We're not real fans anymore. Because you've clearly displayed you've displayed yourself incapable of releasing a quality product and just being a decent company. I mean, so no, I'm not going to spend $80 on your new game, especially when it is essentially just $80 spyware. If I do play it, I will be pirating it. I probably won't do that, though, because it probably won't even be worth my time pirating it.
Get wrecked, nerds.
I don't know. I think I've released a lot of my pent up frustration. Oh boy. Just a sad state of affairs. This is why I continue to hammer into the ground like these companies do not care about you. They just want money. And they will literally, if they could, they would hunt you down and take your organs and sell them on the black market if they thought they could get away with it.
Which they probably could in today's cyberpunk-esque society.
Oh, I mean, I'm certain there's some way they could get away with something like that. But I mean, that's essentially what they're doing when they're stealing your information, selling it to random people or random companies. Like I said before, I guarantee the reason that they want to ban TikTok is because the Chinese government gets to steal the information. Maybe not the government directly, but at least China, companies in China get to steal the information without having to buy it from the US. That's why they want to ban
That's 100% the reason.
Oh, yeah. Because, well, you can't be making money off of my citizens. I'm supposed to be doing that.
That's my job. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's sad. It's just a sad day indeed.
It's not
a
just
sad era.
It's actually infuriating to me that a company thinks they could get away with this kind of thing. It's disgusting.
Because nobody calls them on it because they're too afraid to.
I ain't afraid. I wish I had a bigger platform to be like, yeah, I'm gonna freaking dunk my nuts right in Gearbox's forehead, but you know, I absolutely not. You're not gonna catch me hand waving this or doing anything. And anybody who is either a bad actor or somebody who has not studied up on what a lot of this stuff means. Because I see so many people. There is a contingent of people who are like, "Oh, the new EULA is not that big of a deal, guys. It's not that crazy. There's not really that much to worry about." Root level access means they can steal anything you've had on your system ever.
Yeah.
Passwords to accounts. They can steal your phone number, your email, all of your personal information. They get access to all of that. Your social security, anything that's an important number to you, they will have at their beck and call. No. Absolutely not. Don't hand wave that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm freaking heated over this. Oh boy. But yeah, like also I guess let's try and get off of a topic that's not making me so
Meh.
Like we were discussing a little bit before stream about the overall cost of games and how I made the remark that I don't really think that I've played a game that is worth $70, let alone $80. And that's when game development was across the board typically better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've mentioned Fallout New Vegas. Like you know how much I paid for Fallout New Vegas? $10. When I originally bought it on Xbox 360, I bought it at... Okay, correction. My parents bought it at GameStop for $10. $10. And I got one of my favorite...
$10.
10 whole schmeckles. And I got one of my favorite games of all time. You want to know how much I spent for the Dark Souls games? I think I spent $15 on Dark Souls 1. I spent $15 on Dark Souls 2. And I spent $20 on Dark Souls 3. $50 total for one of my favorite trilogies of games ever. I spent $30 on Bloodborne. That is my favorite game of all time. I spent $40 on Persona 5 Royale. One of my top 3 favorite games of all time. I spent $60 on Elden Ring. Twice, but we'll ignore that for now. Oh, what's up, Reaper? We're talking about the price of video games. I had a very angry rant just a moment ago about the 2 companies we were talking about that I had posted on the board, but I'm trying to tone it down a little bit. But even Elden Ring, that I've spent $60 on twice, I understand that kind of hurts my argument, because yes, I bought it on PlayStation and then I bought it on PC. I at least got streams out of it on PC, so I had a reason to buy it a second time. As hypocritical as it is, I fully understand that. Because yes, I've spent $120 on Elden Ring. But anyways, to proceed with the argument,
$120.
Shut up. Shove it up your ass. I have played Elden Ring for 290 hours on PC. And probably over 100 on my PS4.
You know what game I've bought more than one time?
What?
I've bought it 3 times. Do you know how much it is totaled up to?
What game have you bought 3 times? I'm assuming not counting gifting to somebody.
That is correct.
Okay. Is it a Halo game?
No.
Is it a Civ game?
I spent $23 in total to buy this game 3 times.
How much is that? And no, Reaper. The second thing is Take-Two Interactive. The game developer, they're one of the companies behind Borderlands, and they've got a couple other.
Hello?
Yes.
You still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you cut out.
Oh. That was Discord, because I was still said I was talking on stream. So, anyways, what game is it?
Stardew Valley.
Oh, yeah, I should have known that. But yeah, again.
And I got it on sale the first time. I bought it for the Xbox, and I bought it for the Switch.
How many hours do you have in Stardew Valley?
Give me one moment. Let me pull up my Steam.
I know you have 3 separate, if you had to estimate from the other 2. I have 34 hours on Steam. I know I have more than that because I played it on the Xbox app before we were playing it on Steam. So I probably have close to 100 hours.
400 hours on Steam alone.
So rough estimate 700 hours across the board.
Yeah.
And you spent $23.
Yeah.
Now, I don't always like to equate playtime with how much money you spent, because there are absolutely a lot of games that, like, yeah, you can spend $60 on WoW. I think that's what it was. I don't know if it is still that. That's just what I remember it being back in the day. And you have essentially the rest of your life worth of content in WoW.
Yeah.
Because it's an MMO, but, you know. And there's things like, yeah, if we're talking one single playthrough, which most people are going to do, Elden Ring's probably 40 hours. Most people aren't going to play through the game 8 times like me and get 290 hours of playtime out of the freaking game. But my point is, I don't know that if Elden Ring had an $80 price tag, if I would buy that. If all of these other games that I have named had an $80 price tag, if I would buy that. Because there's still a lot of
If Stardew Valley had an $80 price tag, I would not be buying it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing you miss. There's so many fantastic games. I can read through my library. I bought Oblivion Remastered. I have only got to play it for 3 hours total because the game kept crashing. I spent $50 on that, and I'm not exactly disappointed, because whenever I get a stronger computer, I will be playing the absolute hell out of that. Gary's Mod. I have 377 hours. I spent $9 on Gary's Mod. I would not in any universe spend $80 on Gary's Mod. I love Left 4 Dead 2. I have played the crap out of Left 4 Dead 2. Would not in any universe spend $80 on Left 4 Dead 2. What's up, group?
Yeah.
Lethal Company, Rivals, Portal 2, Repo, Baldur's Gate 3. All of these are fantastic games that I would not spend $80 on. So when the argument was, hey, we're increasing the price because that means the quality is going up. Bull Scheitze. I'll say it in a different language. Bull. Full on. Bull crap. No way. Quality has only gone down the more expensive games have gotten. And that is my major issue with it. You can argue, oh, well, game development is so much more expensive now. Yeah, that's not my fault.
That is also correct.
Group, I have been angry this whole stream.
Yes, he has.
Even when I was like, let's move to something I'll be less angry about, I'm still getting myself worked up.
But he's like a woman.
Shut up. But yeah, so when freaking Pitchford is like, oh, $80 to real fans. No. Nuh-uh. I haven't played a game worth $80. Now, of course, you yourself, I've said I haven't played a game worth $70. I think $60 was the sweet spot, which is why we sat there for 15 years.
Yeah. I have to admit, I do play Civilization 7, which was $70.
I was gonna say, you made that point, which is a fair point, and ultimately, it is up to the individual to decide what they're willing to spend.
But at the same time, I already have how much? Like 300 odd hours in this game? Almost the same amount of time that I have on Stardew Valley on Steam, I have in Civilization 7.
Yeah. And you've been playing Civ 7 for a few months?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I can understand that, because especially knowing you spend full price on a game like that maybe once a year, if not less than once a year.
Yeah, but I also don't play as many video games as people think I do.
Yeah. Well, you play your set of games. You don't like, okay, I'm going to play this for a little bit, and then I'm going to play a different game for a little bit, and then I'm going to play a new one for a little bit. You're like, I'm playing this right now, and I'm playing Civilization 7. I'm going to play a bunch of Civilization 7. I feel like playing Minecraft for a little bit, so I'm going to go play Minecraft for a little bit. Then it's back to Civ 7. And then you might have the odd
it's like
Stardew, City Skylines, some of those kind of games, but you're always orbiting within that same sphere. You're not like me, who when you look at my Steam library, I have a freaking 150 games, and you have everything from BG3, Borderlands, Elden Ring, Fallout, Alien Tale. I have Blasphemous. I have freaking Balloons Tower Defense 6 in my Steam library. Like, Dead Island.
You have more games than me, right?
I have so many games. I guarantee I have more than
87 games.
I
in my Steam library.
I think... What do you mean there was an error with the network? Steam, what are we doing? Oh, did my Steam network just break? I think it did. Oh, wait. No.
It is Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Steam updates every Tuesday.
Yep. I was going to say, I can access the store just fine. But I can't access my own profile.
It's really funny to me because everybody forgets that Steam updates every single Tuesday. And I remember it happened to us once, and I've never forgotten.
Right. Oh, yeah, Reaper. Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is $15. It was made by 3 dudes.
In a basement.
Expedition 33 is $40. It was made by a small team. I see people who haven't even finished their first playthrough, and they're at over 100 hours because of how into the game they're getting. They're wanting to explore every single piece of side content because they just want more of the game. And that's exactly it, group. Like, I haven't bought a game at $70. I sure as hell am not buying a game at $80 because they're just not worth it. There's not a game that's worth it.
That is very true.
I'd be skeptical about buying Elden Ring at $80, and I know that's a personal thing, just because I don't like to spend that much money on a game, but Elden Ring at $60? That was fantastic. I was fine shelling that out. And Elden Ring is probably the one exception with the game that I've bought full price twice. And yeah, I know, hypocritical, because whatever. I get that. And I can concede on that. Like, yes, I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have waited for a sale, but when my PlayStation wasn't working, I'm not going to validate it. I still spent that money.
And he wanted to play Elden Wrong.
Yeah.
So he went and bought that game.
Elden Wrong.
Yeah.
When will things be Elden right?
For you, never.
But yeah, another Crab's Treasure is another great example. I played that on Game Pass, so I don't know exactly. I suppose I could look at the Steam page and find out how much it is. But another example of a great game with a small team that was very successful. The Steam store is no longer working. Well, that's the thing too. Nintendo never has a price drop. Once that game is $80, it will be $80 until the heat death of the universe. Like, you still can't buy Wii games at a lower price unless you're buying it from a third party. Switch games that have been out for almost 10 years at this point, still full 60 or full 70. The other thing that's so egregious about Nintendo is it's $80 for the digital copy, $90 for the quote-unquote physical, because it's not actually physical. It's just a piece of plastic that has a download code in it. You're paying $10 for a piece of plastic. And you don't actually own the game. I will continue to say the phrase. If buying is not owning, piracy is not stealing. What's up, Razor? Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we had an early pod because I have something to do at 7. If I continue, this is a weekly
girlfriend
thing.
To go visit.
I wish. This is a weekly thing, it's a church thing that me and my sister were going to go to. It's like a college group. But if we decide to do it weekly, I'll probably have us move the podcast to Thursday. Just so there's nothing interrupting.
As long as my schedule can continue.
Yeah.
Because I have to deal with my other stuff. However, I did stream last night. Nobody tuned in, but that's fine with me.
I did see
I
that.
was just typing away.
I noticed it today when I opened up my YouTube. I was like, "Oh, Eli streamed. I didn't get a notification for that. Thank you, YouTube."
Yeah, I'm be honest with you. I absolutely just was like, I turned it on. I was like, I'm typing tonight. I'm just turning this on and I'm typing away. I'm just gonna hang out. You guys do whatever you want. Or if you guys got questions, ask me. You know.
Right. They did. Yes, group, you're exactly right. They found the way to have every single negative about physical copies, with none of the positives. Hey, I'll take a shot right here. I just collected a nice little piece of video game history today. I bought myself a physical copy at a thrift store I went to because I was looking for a new chair. Did not find one, unfortunately. I found a disc copy of the original Star Wars Battlefront for $5. I snagged that thing
Nice.
immediately. It is now sitting on my shelf, displayed very nicely. That's why you buy a physical copy. That's mine forever. As long as I have something that can read that disc, I can play that game.
Yeah.
I'm the only one surprised Eli apparently knows how to write. Eli's a very good writer.
Who said that? Was that group?
That was group.
Hold on. I'm opening my YouTube page now.
Oh boy, half of your stuff on your YouTube page is all about writing.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call from my sister. Carry the show.
Man, I'm Spencer. I'm upset with the video game industry. Man. Here's my personal opinion, guys. I don't play enough video games anymore to really like make a strong argument in I don't play enough. Like think about that stuff and like, oh man, video games are getting more expensive. As Spencer said earlier, I play one video game pretty much a year.
I'll have to be leaving before too long, but
We can go ahead and start wrapping it up.
no, we're in the middle of an interesting conversation. I don't want to just cut it off.
What about me? Yeah, I'm probably gonna try and keep doing it at night where I'm just up typing.
That's fair. I'm interviewing for a full-time position at my job tomorrow, so if I end up getting that, my streams are going to be moving to nights. So
Fair enough. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I'm on my computer anyway. Why don't I just turn on the stream and just go, you know?
Right. That was pretty funny, Razor, how Eli immediately knew that comment came from group.
But yeah, if you guys have questions or anything like that, feel free to tune in. I'll just be typing away. I can't guarantee you will have a great time listening to the non-licensed music that I put on last night because I don't really talk during it. Mainly because I'm thinking and typing.
That's fair. I think too, if people were popping in your chat, you'd be probably talking more.
Oh yeah, I would probably answer a lot more questions, but but that's the thing is like I'm just kind of there typing. It's kind of a chill like hangout. Nothing going crazy.
Crazy. But yeah, um, we talked just a quick rundown since nobody was in the stream whenever we were talking about it. Yeah, the first two things, Bungie keeps plagiarizing from different people. The more important thing, if anybody has Borderlands, any of the Borderlands games installed on your system right now, uninstall it and do not agree to the end user license agreement. Get rid of that immediately. Because they part of the end user license agreement is agreeing that the new one is agreeing that you will allow them to have root level access to your machine. So do not accept that at all. That's
9999.
That's my little PSA to my community. Don't accept Take-Two or Gearbox's new end user license agreement because they will steal all of your personal information. It is essentially you're essentially allowing them to install spyware on your freaking computer. You can actually check these Steam pages right now. I'll pull up.
I'll go do that.
If the Steam store is loading now. There we go.
Store page. Recent reviews, mostly negative. How do I find the reviews?
Scroll down.
Okay.
I'm on Borderlands 2. Let's see.
That's exactly where I'm at.
Borderlands, aka Take-Two and 2K Games, have updated their games, even their older games. This collects usernames and passwords, IP locations, and browser history data. Mods are a bannable offense. Display of cheats/exploits is bannable. Forced arbitration so long as it's permitted in your region. You can be banned for using a VPN while connecting to online servers. Cannot access game content on a virtual PC. Best last, they reserve the right to modify this agreement in whole or in part at any time.
Hey, scroll down, keep scrolling.
On that review or on others?
No, on the right side. A little bit more. Keep going down. You're going up.
Place sex with Hitler too. There are no intrusive TOS. Also suck my ass cheek.
Down 2 more reviews after that.
1984 by George.
Yep. Thought you'd find that one funny.
That one's good. And that's what we'll end on. Oh my goodness. Okay, you got your quote?
Give me a second. I gotta go pull up my quote generator.
Of course you do.
If my phone would load any slower.
Alright, I got mine. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Calvin Coolidge.
Okay. The war will end. The leaders will shake hands. The old woman will keep waiting for her martyred son. That girl will wait for her beloved. Wait for her beloved husband. And those children will wait for their heroic father. I don't know who sold our homeland, but I saw who paid the price. Mahamud Darwish.
Not bad. But yeah, Razer, I don't know how that'll affect consoles, but I still would not recommend. They'll definitely still be able to take your IP address. Yeah, okay. Collected data types, identifiers, contact information, name, username, gamertag, postal and email address, phone number, unique IDs, mobile device ID, platform ID, gaming service ID, advertising ID, and IP address. Protected characteristics, age and gender. Cool. That's great. Like, that's super helpful. Commercial information, purchase and usage history and preferences, including gameplay information. Billing information, which means credit and debit card information. Internet and web activity. Device and usage data. Profile info. Like, everything. Everything. So I would not accept it, even on a console. But that's just my little PSA. Don't let a gaming company steal your data. I immediately uninstalled them when I found out about it. So, yeah. But that'll be all we got for tonight. I will be back tomorrow. I believe I'm... What am I playing? I don't know how I always manage to forget what I'm playing. Far Cry 3 tomorrow. So, yeah. Also, I don't know if I will be playing Battlefront on Wednesday or on Thursday. I threw that on there. We'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. Is the new agreement worldwide? It feels like it'd be illegal outside of the US. That I don't know. I have not looked into that. You might want to look into that. But yeah, it feels like it should be illegal in the US as well. Feels like it should just be illegal across the board, but you know, if they can get away with it. But I'm gonna report every single one of their games to Steam for that, because Steam is typically very good about that, and I would hope Steam would remove them. This frees up space on my PC for The Witcher. I was doing the same thing. Like, what can I install with all this new space? But yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be back next week. I forgot this was the 80th episode. Hey, we're at 80 now. We're only 20 away from the big 100.
Big Hundy.
The big hundo. But yeah.
The Ben Franklin of episodes.
Exactly. Tally ho.
Yeah, wait, can we call that episode the Ben Franklin?
Oh my gosh. We can call it all about the Benjamins.
I like that.
Tally ho.
Tally ho.